My name is James Williams Jr. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. So let's drop some future thoughts or what I would be grateful for. Not that this is gonna happen, but if this does actually happen, if some miracle is performed by the good Lord and Marvel or DC is watching, hey, look, I'm one of the biggest comic book fans there is. I've been reading comic books since I was 3 years old. In fact, unfortunately, if it wasn't for DC Comics, I would have never learned how to read because the first comic book I ever read was a Jonah Hex comic. Granted, I don't recall them being that many Native Americans in that comic, but I'm sure back in that time, before they clusterfucked it and sent him into the future, Samurai Jack style, and gave him a laser gun instead of the old six-shooter, you know, thank you, DC. But if it wasn't for Marvel, I would have never wanted to keep learning how to read because of Spider-Man and the X-Men. Specifically, the X-Men has always been my favorite Marvel comic group. I love Avengers. Don't get me wrong. See the shirt. Cap's always been one of my favorites. I used to spring off the wall and kick people, and people would ask me where I got that from. I got it from Captain America. Ninja Turtles did not do it first. Captain America did it first. He'd throw the shield at somebody, he'd spring off the wall and kick and punch people at the same time. Cap did it first. Not DC, not Archie's, which would be Ninja Turtles. It was Captain America who did it first. It's like for surfing on manholes, Spider-Man did that first. So like I said, I'm more Marvel than DC. So Marvel, I would prefer to work for you instead of DC. But since one of my favorite artists went from Marvel to Image to DC, which was Jim Lee, I could still work with Jim Lee. No, as long as he makes a character specifically about me and give me a TV show. That would be cool. But let's flip that script because that's a pipe dream from hell. That's never going to happen. I'm never going to meet Jim Lee. We're never going to collaborate. We're never going to do any of that shit. But I'm aiming towards Marvel. Marvel has some Native American characters. They don't have many mixed characters, so they don't have people who are just like me, who are more one or the other or both, because I'm a triple threat, because I'm Native American, I'm black, and I'm white. So, they don't have any characters like that. But if you could just have a Native American character or a Native American and black character, I'm down for playing that guy. And we like to do this before my age catches up with my face. All right, because I am actually almost 44 years old. I've been busting my ass here on YouTube trying to get noticed, and it hasn't happened. The internet has changed how talent is discovered. However, just like everything else, the internet seems to blow over my head. So let me put it to you like Carlos Santana. The world hasn't caught up with me. It's not that I'm behind the times, it's that I'm ahead of the times. Except for in one aspect of time, which is this shit called technology. So yeah, I'm still learning the odds and ends of technology because I can't figure out why YouTube hasn't made me famous like it's made everyone else famous. Okay, so let me drop a little bit of information here. When you're an actor, and you go to these casting calls, and I'm gonna state this properly because a lot of things, a lot of people who are trying to get into this business have no fucking idea how this works. When you have casting calls in your cities and you go to them and you just know that you're better than the guy sitting next to you, better than the guy sitting behind you, better than the person in front of you, and you know this because you've honed your craft and you've worked your ass off and you've gotten nowhere. That was my story. Independent films was the only way I can get something out there, and all my independent films have bombed. Straight fucking bombed. It's not my actor's fault. It's not really my fault. It's outlet and getting exposure. So there used to be a Adam and Tom, whatever. They used to make independent film people, and I don't know what happened to that, so I can't send any of my shit there. My best shit was stolen in 2010 when I went to the Army because of a broken heart issue. That's another story. We won't go there. Um, my guy, who was supposed to put special effects in there to make my movie worth something, he lost his job. He took it to Alabama so that he could put the stuff in. He got mugged and all my shit got stolen. The cops did nothing. It's sitting on the screen somewhere in somebody's desk with a hard drive. And my old Mac computer with the picture of my old fiance on there. So anyway, if any of that pops up, she can't sue me because the shit was stolen. I have told you guys about this shit like plenty of times. So when they go through YouTube and say, "Oh, James could have killed anybody or did that," that is true. But I can't put something out that I don't have in my possession. Alright? Now my best shit is gone. I made a rough rendition of it. It's on this channel. I've put out the challenge for someone to take it off the challenge, upload it, put the special effects in. I have air. Chris has ice. Josh has fire. Charles has steel. Dustin has little balls of yellow light that I couldn't get to work. And uh, God damn it, why can't I remember the name? Tay, he has the steel. Actually, Charles has the stone, but he's only in there for like 40 seconds because they voted him off. He has a dream scene and then he dies. It's like at the beginning of the fucking first episode somewhere. Anyway, to catch all the main powers, you have to go to Kung Fu Havoc #1 and watch Path of Ascension. Yes, I can't spell, so it's probably spelled Path of Accession, which by the Webster's Dictionary, they basically mean the same damn thing. Anyway, so whatever one I spelled, that's the film, and you can get a good laugh because I couldn't get people to actually show up and film, and then when we made the 7 webisodes, it was initially going to be 14, but people couldn't really commit, and then some of the people who could commit had other obligations, so I had to put them on there. And Courtney plays the best bad guy, and his powers are universal, so he can basically do anything. He can create life and all that other shit. He plays Darkon Darkcloud. Thanks, Courtney. Thanks, Tay. Thanks, Rodney. Thanks, Josh. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Charles. Thanks, Dustin. Thanks, everyone who helped participate in making my 7 episodes. But here's the thing, and back on track. When you are in this business, when you are going to these casting calls, they have a list. I have mentioned this on one of my videos previous to this, like about a year or so ago, and I will keep bringing this up because the thing about Hollywood is if you're not what they're looking for, I'm ugly and I know it, but they don't really give a flying fuck about if you can act or not. You have to be marketable. So clearly I'm ugly as fuck and I am not marketable, and no one wants to give me a shot to be marketable, so we don't know if I am a good actor or the worst actor on the planet. I'm going to probably slide with the worst actor on the planet, but that's just me because we're all our own worst critics. But the thing is, if you don't fit this magical list, they're not going to give you that magical SpongeBob card. And to be honest, I would be happy doing voiceover. I would be happy just making commercials. Example, when I get a headache, I would like to endorse products that I actually use. This is Motrin. I actually use Motrin and Advil because my military medicine straight fucking sucks. Alright? We get the best medicine at the cheapest price, and sometimes it's not really the best medicine, so I have to revert to this, like when I have a headache only, but like for my hip pain and all that, I use my military medicine. I stopped using it when my dad died because the medicine was so powerful, or as you, people who are efficient in drugs, the medicine is so potent that it doesn't put me to sleep, but when I go to sleep, the shit won't let me wake the fuck up. So I had to start taking halves, and I pretty much lost them. No, I didn't flush them down the toilet. I've lost them because when my dad died, nothing else mattered. No, my healing, anything, none of that shit mattered. The fact that I can't do kung fu anymore is a sidetrack. No doctors cleared me to do any exercises other than walking, which totally fucking sucks. So that kind of leads into depression. I also have a graphic novel called Love 13 that I'm trying to find a publisher, and I'm having no fucking luck at all at any of this stuff. But for acting, because it's what I want, it's what I would live to do, it's what I want to do, it's what I know I can do if given half a shot. I would be great with just being able to do commercials. Pringles, Tang, Rain-X, shit that I actually use. I need a job, one that I can be comfortable with. If you see my video when I start doing like lines from like Kill Bill with Azure Leader, and by the way, this gorilla really is not named Magilla Gorilla. I don't even remember what color Magilla Gorilla is. I remember what Great Ape looks like, but not Magilla Gorilla. I think he wore a hat. But anyway, I did a montage to Kill Bill with Azure Leader. I just changed up a few things, and a couple of times, if you've seen the blooper ones, I totally fucked that shit up. But, I know I have some acting talent. I know I have some writing talent. Whether it's good or not for the world at large is a whole different thing. But the way I see it, when you look at life, they keep making all these fucking reboots. They did Dallas, that lasted a little while. They did 90210 reboot, that lasted a little while. They turned the Archies into a show called Riverdale. And then, have all these Marvel and DC shows that's coming out and it's done things, and I, like I said, would prefer to work for Marvel than DC, but I'll take whatever the fuck I can get. But I want an open contract because the girl that did the 100, she was both Marvel and DC, because in Marvel she was the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. girl's mom. And then on DC, she was the Chinese chick with all the tattoos that fought in the arena with Catman and Black Canary in the cartoons. If y'all remember, I can't remember her name, but it's the same chick that Batman fought in the Red Dragon outfit. I forgot her damn name. Because a lot of DC comics and a lot of Marvel comics, all their villains tend to cross over in from story to story. Because Magneto has dealt with the Avengers once or twice, and so has Thanos and Therex. I never can get his name right. He floats on a fucking rock with a stick, all right, with a spear type thing. But he's also fought the New Warriors and some other people as well. So all the villains and all the things have crossed over, and like for uh, DC, Darkseid has fought damn near everybody too. So it's touch and go because villains just have no tyranny. Because Atrocitus has also fought Super Friends or whatever the hell you want to call them, the Justice League, but he's a Green Lantern's enemy. But still he has come across them because sometimes heroes have to unite to bring down a common foe. Now, when it comes down to acting and stuff like that, I'm not very picky. I only have like maybe 3 conditions that I'm not willing to do. I'm not willing to really do full on nudity without talking to the actress. I'm not doing any gay nudity. That is not a fucking option. I'm sorry. And if I've offended anyone who is gay, I'm sorry. I don't ride that way, and I support you and your causes and everything. But that's pretty much where it ends right there. If I have to play a gay guy, I'm conflicted on that whole kissing another dude thing. But as far as the love scenes, that shit's completely out. Out, 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 out. There are some moral lines there, and there's a reason why I won't do that. Also, I promised my dad, I will play a character as best I can, but there are limits to the shit that I'm willing to do. Would I play a transgender? Would I dress up in a dress? Well, hell, I've done that before, so that's not a problem. You're gonna need a lot of makeup to cover up all this ugliness, though. A lot of makeup. I'll pull a Tootsie. Hell, if they want to make a new Tootsie, I'll take that role that Dustin Hoffman made famous. Hell yeah, I'll do it. Because it would actually stretch my acting chops and make people know that, hey, maybe this little fucker actually can act. Yeah, I'll do it. Tyler Perry doesn't. He's Medea. I'll be a young Medea. I'm down. Just make sure that check is green. Make sure it cashes. Or as they quote it in Robert Townsend's The Bold, the Black, and Beautiful, if my check bounces, so will you. Anyway, acting is more than one aspect of acting. There are more than 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 type of acting. All right, so let me point that out for you. If you're not the ace actors, and I'm gonna say this because it's the truth, and I'm definitely never gonna fall into this category. Ace actors are those Broadway actors. They put this shit on every night. They never forget a line, and they are there live every night. Not this guy. No. TV, internet, movies, that's me. Because when I fuck up a line, you can do it again. When you fuck up a line and you're on Broadway, they throw things. Tomatoes, maybe knives. I have that kind of luck. They might throw a tomato with a knife in it. So that is not an option. I could probably catch that tomato. That's why there'll be a knife in it. So it'll go through my hand and fuck up my day. Or somebody else's day. It might just I might duck it and it might hit somebody who's very beautiful in the face and fuck up their career. Yeah. At least with TV, you can throw shit at your TV. I personally won't feel a thing. I'm also not going to feel sorry for that fucking cable bill that you're going to have to pay when you break your flat screen TV because you were mad at my pissy pussy ass acting skills. But hey, people have gotten paid for less. No, would I need to go out and make a sex tape to get famous? No, I'm really not trying to do that because I don't want people to know if I actually have a big dick or a little dick. I've never actually measured it, so I don't really give a fuck. And for those who have nothing better to do than measure your shit, yeah, I really don't know where to give you from there. But let's get back on track. So for acting, you have internet acting, which apparently I'm sucking at. You have TV and movie acting, and if I could just get the door open and someone would actually give me a fair fucking shot, I'm ready to go. I've been ready since I was in my 20s. But a certain studio here in Virginia just wouldn't give me a shot because I'm not a member of SAG. But you can't be a member of the Screen Acting Guild if you're not fucking acting, or if no one's giving you a shot to actually act, so you can't really join it. It's kind of a catch-22 or a double fuck with a red hot poker and no Vaseline. And I've written over 170 something scripts for a character that I can play. Not the same character every time, but the basic same ethnic background wise. You know, that's pretty much the only thing about all the characters I've written that are the same. They're either black and Asian or they're black and Native American. And every now and again, there might be one character or two who's just black and white. But see, I'm not just black and white. I'm also black, white, Native American. And usually I tell people in that order that I'm usually Native American, black, and white. And to say that is because of if you go by bloodline, providing that I can get this 23andMe thing going, I gotta get money first. But you know, I know I have more Native American in me than most stuff. So if my father's father is black and my father's mother is Native American and her mother before her is Native American, that's pretty much 40% Native American right there. And on my mother's side, her father's father was white. His father's mother is black. Her mother is Native American, possibly Native American black, but raised by black people. I don't know how the hell that shit works, but I'm mostly Native American. So therefore, you know, I try to make my character more based on what my genetic story should be, is, or whatever. Now, as far as me being marketable, I don't know the depths of my ugly. I have been uglier when I burnt all this side of my face off. I still got like scars on my arm here from when my car engine kind of bursted in my face. So, you know, the thing with acting is, you know, if you're not given the shot, then you will never know. If I quit today, I will never know. So I haven't quit. And some people think I'm actually kind of funny. And the only retort to that is, I know I'm funny looking, but that's pretty much where my comedy ends right there. And sometimes I just say shit that needs to be said. You know, it could be funny, it could not be funny. You know, it's not going to be like, well, you know, if you are in a compromised position and your asshole itch, what do? Do you scratch it in public or do you just deal with the pain and try to play it off? The answer is B. You play it off until you can get to a restroom facility where you can scratch your ass where no one can know it. And whatever you do, after you scratch your ass, do not smell your fingers. Because even a clean ass can smell. Alright? Because sometimes you just can't get rid of the scent, even if you wash and wipe and all that shit. You know, it's just bad. But I got adventures. I can tell stories. And I can make you laugh on some of the stories because some of the things that happen to me is just fucking conceivable. Anyway, let me end this and go back to playing Mass Effect Andromeda because I'm going to do these small ass little tiny missions before I run this shit back with Sarah Ryder because I like playing a lesbian. I'm James Williams Jr. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. Be seeing you. Maybe I should peanut jar.